You get it said, I was yawning.
Yeah. When were you born?
I was born the 19th of June, 1920.
Do you remember what school like?
Now you may have to talk a little louder.
Do you remember what school was like?
What?
School.
What school? Yeah, I went to school at Blanks.
Do you remember what it was like?
Yeah, I guess. I remember that we went. Now I had to go to TAV 2 years. Something I can't remember. Something happened. They burnt down the school or something, and they had to divide the children up. Some went to Cash Point and some went to TAV, and I went to TAV school. I got a picture in there of my picture of what was made in the living room. 2 grades, 7th and 8th grade.
What did you do when you were my age? When you were 15?
Why did I do what?
What did you do when you were 15?
Oh, I was grown when I was 15. I thought I was anyway, didn't I? Well, honey, I just went to school and worked at home. We picked cotton and gathered corn or whatever it was. Worked on the farm. That was what Papa done. I didn't have no jobs, nothing like that. No babysitting or anything. I just, that kind of work. And that's the kind of work I done until the children were grown. I went to work out here at the Ardmore. First we went to Burris white shirts, Navy shirts, you know, for the Army, and then we changed over to working doing pants. And then but the children was up big enough all. Well, just I guess there's 3 here. 3 G today and 3. Yeah, and Gene and Dale. Then Willie, there's 4. Willie was, I guess, when I was working. But they was big enough to go to school and I worked. I did a little babysitting for her. They just stayed with me. I didn't hire John David and Emily after Rene moved back here. They was working and they was running a cafe where I would keep them. So that's all that I really ever did except when Robin moved in here. They separated. Well, I had Robin then to see after. But he was in school and he got out at 3 and I got off at 3:30. So he would meet me home a little bit, but he'd always be sitting right at the TV for he laughing at something that he'd have on the TV. But that's about all I've even kept the children very much, just overnight or something like that, you know, when they come and visit. And I don't. I guess that's about all I've done.
What age were you married at?
What day was I married? On Sunday.
March the 1st.
What
age? What age?
What age?
I was just 16. I was married out here at Jimmy Greenway. Was the pastor out here at the church, and that's who married us at Macedonia.
How many kids did you have?
9. I did have one that didn't live through the night. Was born too early, you know. And she lived a little while, but she was born to breathing, but she was. It wasn't no use of her dying if they had back then what they did now, you know, to put them on. But the doctor just, I think this hot water, warm bottle, hot, you know, place to sleep, and she, but that's just the 9. I had 9 children.
Could you tell
About
me
every
their,
2 years.
Hmm?
About some of them just about 2 years, a little over some of them.
hmm
But
Could you tell me their names? All of their names?
yes, I could start from Betty to James to Billy to Carolyn. Now that was the way they were born. That was the way they and facts of business. Betty is 75 years old, and then Carolyn. After comes Carolyn was Robert and then Jean, Willie, Dell and Ree. Ree's baby. So that's got them all. A handful of children.
Do you remember what Papa did?
He farmed. That was the biggest thing he did. But then when he did carpenter work.
Mm.
He worked some at the Arsenal and anywhere, he could get a job. Sometimes I remember him and Miss Smith built barns or something like that for somebody. But he was in the union. I remember Clay was the union man name, and which being in the union yet got a little more money, So he worked at the Arsenal. He worked off some. He worked. Up in. I was when the war was going on, And we milked cows too. We didn't milk at first, but then we did milk cows.
Did he ever go to school? Do you remember him going to school, or did he just stay on the farm?
Did what?
Daddy graduated from the what grade?
Daddy
graduated what? 8th grade? 6th grade?
I guess I don't think he got maybe 7th grade, cause he fussed about that. He said that they kept him out to work down there in the new ground. They did. That was before they moved up here, and he said they kept him out to work, and then when Mabel come along, they paid to send her to school to go. Edward didn't have the education that if he really had, he could have done a whole lot more.
How did you get into milking cows?
Well, we always had cows. He bought a calf the day we married him. He had from, she was tired to call his name because I lived there beside him where Betty was born and all. He bought a calf that day, but he brought it out here to Mr. Smith's. And we had cows till he died. I don't know, I believe we done sold out for when we come out the dairy. We didn't have none. These cows now, it's just, let's hear our Billy's and Curtis's.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we got rid of the cows. But we sold it just here at home, milk cans, and a milk truck come and picked them up. And then we went into a dairy business where we had a whole bunch of cows.
How many brothers and sisters do you have?
I did have one brother and one sister. They both passed away. They were Edward was the last one of his family to go. They're all gone, his brothers and sisters. And mine too.
Who was your best friend to play with? What did y'all play?
Clara Clotty. She was Clara Bucket then. Me and her we was on the same side of the road, but not much further from here to Virginia, but it was just right down the road. She's a little older than I was, but we was in the same grade together. And that me and her, when I was little, that was who I played with.
Do you remember what y'all played?
What we played, we had us a playhouse out in the yard. Played with dolls and all such as that. Me and her, we played with get them all out, then we'd get them all stacked back in our box, you know, our paper dolls and things. Yeah, that was what we, now that we didn't work together too much. They had their field and we had ours. I might work some way. I know me and James and Billy cut corn one year up there while Edward was working. Well, I took them and went on and done what I could with working. And a lot of times he'd come in from work and maybe pull off his coveralls and grab his others and just go to the field and work till night, finish out till night. Driving a horse. After we moved down here, we didn't have no tractor for a while. Nobody didn't have no tractors then. They just used that long ago. And then they got to where they could get tractors to help out. And that helped out a lot. They didn't have to feed the horses and catch them. And so I had just a very plain life. Going to school.
Where did you move here from?
Well, I haven't done much moving. Well, I was born in Tennessee, Lincoln County. Just stuff up, it's on the old Baptist road. No, yeah, the Baptist road coming down. Well, I'm about, how far? About a mile from where I was born. Gee.
Maybe 2 or 3 miles.
And then we did live in Huntsville. There's children coming in. And we lived in Huntsville. Edward worked at the cotton mill when we back.
Mm-hmm.
And then it closed down. And
Ask her what cotton mill was that. Ask her what cotton mill.
What cotton mill?
it was Edward worked in Dallas. We lived in Dallas Cotton Mill.
I thought it was a Merrimack.
Huh?
I thought it was a Merrimack.
Bad May worked at Merrimack, heard you? But we lived there. We lived in Dallas. We lived just he walked to work. He and Marie worked. Her and Marie worked. We lived in the house with her when we first married. We had 2 rooms and she had 2 rooms. So we had our rooms different, but it was the same house. And had Med and Ruth was like little young ones. I stayed with them. A lot of times they went in at 10 and worked till 2, and sometimes it was 2 to 10. They had different shifts that they worked on. 8-hour shifts.
Aunt Marie was Daddy's half sister, so ask her why was Aunt Marie kin to her.
How was Aunt Marie kin to y'all?
Marie, she is Edward's half sister.
Mm-hmm.
They've got the same daddy, but Marie's mother was dead. They had Mr. Smith and his first wife. They had 2 children. Had Marie and had one younger than her, but she died as a baby. I never did see no pictures or nothing of her. And his mother died, and then I don't. But no, he thought as much of her as he did either one of his others. And she never did call him nothing but Ed. It was Ed this. She never did call him Edward. Ed. Ed was all she ever called him.
Mm-hmm.
And him and her had grown up. She was 4. I believe she is 4 years older than Mabel. Mabel was older than Edward. She was about a couple of years older than him. She was born, I know her birthday is January the 30th. Edward was born then. I was trying to think what year now.
1915.
1915, yeah.
Aunt Marie's husband died in a war.
So Mabel was a couple of years, about 4 years old. I guess she was as much as 4 years older than Edward anyway. But I guess she helped raise him.
What happened to Aunt Marie's husband? What happened to Aunt Marie's husband?
Well, now, her first husband, he was wounded in service. He died. He died back home, but he had got hurt in service. And he died out from here in service. So I don't know.
How old are you?
I'm going through an interview.
How old are you?
Huh?
How old are you?
How old am I?
How many years young are you? Does that sound better?
I'm not much younger than nobody. I'm older than most everybody. 93, one. Why'd I say 93? 91.
And hope for many more years?
Hmm.
And we hope for many more years?
No,
No?
I'm not looking for many more.
What do you think is the biggest change from when you were a little girl to now? Like with
I watch the news a lot. They fuss at me about it. But I can't see nothing picking up, nothing doing much better. It looks like things just getting worse. If they don't get some more jobs in here, some more people, or they're getting more robbers and things like that that you see. And as yesterday on there, well, they were sitting, but the reason they were stealing, they didn't have no money. I reckon if people can't get work and get money, they're gonna just get money the best way they can.
Ask her about how she liked washing her clothes now, drying it to compare to her days.
how do you like washing and drying clothes better? Do you like it better with the washing machine?
Anybody would think it was better. Yeah, well, if you had to go back like I did with a rub board and a rubbing them all them clothes. We've got, see, we didn't have electricity or nothing back then. We had coal oil lamps, wood stoves, cooked on wood stove, and heated by wood. Oh.
What do you think about all these new cars?
Well, I think what they done, they need to be making more, so they'll give somebody some jobs. That way.
Mhm.
I did drive. I did learn how to drive fine after I married, though. But I did drive, and I just, when I got, after Edward died, well, I had done quit driving. No, I didn't. I was driving then because, one day I had turned around to pull out so I wouldn't back out in front of something. And then I pulled out to the road and I was turning before I ever thought that I didn't even look neither way. And that scared me, but I looked then after I got out there and there was nothing inside. If they had been, I'd have just, and I thought, well, anybody that's that forgetful don't need to drive. And I just sold the car and got rid of everything that I can about it. So I don't know too much. I did help the children a little bit with their lessons. They got to where they had got where I couldn't help them. They had their lessons was too hard for me. They just had to get them themselves. Gina helped Dale a whole lot, but Dale was a big kind of contrary about, I know I don't understand. I wondered sometimes why she helped her. But she remembers it now. Dale remembers it, that she would be so aggravated about getting her lessons.
Turn it off now, see if you got it.